Thanks for clicking on this video. This is Captain Paul from TSP. I appreciate if you could like, comment, and subscribe. It helps us with the algorithm and just helps us grow. This video is a short clip from our longer form podcast that will be linked down below. If you do enjoy these clips, I would greatly appreciate it if you subscribe for more of our content. So, with no further ado, get into the video.
Let's talk about somebody on an airplane that did something really fucking stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Goodness fucking gracious, Captain Paul.
I mean, I will say, I have never in my life thought anyone would try Mike Tyson like that, but
Without a gun.
without a gun. And like, can I just say I'm here for it? Because like, bro, like that form, bro, like you just open that fucking seat, just punching the shit out of him with some left jabs. I'm like, that's what we need in 2022. A little bit of more ass kicking, a little bit more social distancing by fisticuffs. I'm all for it, man. Absolutely. I loved it. Oh my God. You act belligerent and I'm just trying to enjoy my ride from A to B. Oh God. God bless America. It's such a beautiful.
It's really interesting how people are, I mean, most people are kind of like sympathetic to Mike Tyson's cause, right?
Absolutely.
Like the first thing that I thought when I heard the story is, what the fuck is Mike Tyson doing on a JetBlue flight? Like, come on, son.
Well,
can we unpack that for a second?
Yeah, but can we be fair, bro, and just say he's not one of these guys that blows all his money like crazy, and then he just wants to.
You do know that he blew $400 million.
Oh well, listen. I'm talking about right now. That's what I'm saying. He probably had to lose a lot of money, learn because that was actually an interesting interview he had on the Joe Rogan show. Is that essentially like he blew through a lot of money, but I think going through all that shit, man, he's realizing like, maybe I should just kind of chill with all the spending. Don't need all this private jet stuff. But I do agree. At least get first class on a nicer type of flight. I do think that would have probably avoided, that whole fuckboy situation.
Yeah, that was about as dumb as it gets.
Kind of want to have that conversation though now because I have seen a lot of people support Mike Tyson because they feel like, they'd kind of do something similar in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I've heard some people have the argument like someone of Mike Tyson's standard or height of success shouldn't put himself in that situation in the first place and just be the bigger man.
No, how about not buying a ticket on a JetBlue flight? You're Mike fucking Tyson.
I mean, it would have been better if it was Southwest Airlines personally. But yeah, it's absolutely insane.
Well, video shows Mike Tyson hitting passenger on plane. 2 unidentified subjects apprehended, then released. Yeah, we can identify one of the subjects because nobody can mistake Mike Tyson. Brian Bat says everybody's making off of Will Smith's money except Will Smith. Yeah, we're probably not going to get into that on this episode of TSP, but there's some interesting murmurs coming out of the Will Smith camp.
Mm-hmm.
This article written by Mike Coppinger. Mike Tyson was involved in a physical altercation on an airplane. They don't even want to tell you what airplane it was because it's embarrassing. On an airplane Wednesday night with an edited video obtained by TMZ Sports, which if we do show the video here, they're going to try to copyright our shit.
Already did it on my video.
Showing the Hall of Famer striking a passenger seated behind him. A spokesperson for the San Francisco Police Department told ESPN on Thursday that at approximately 10:06 p.m. Now, if the guy would have did it at 10:07 p.m., he might have gotten away with it. Officers were dispatched to a physical altercation on board an airplane. That doesn't even make sense. Like they call the cops and then the cops go into the air. They drive their cars into the air.
Yeah.
That's I'm kind of demented. At San Francisco International Airport, the department declined to identify those involved, saying it doesn't release the names of detained individuals named Mike Tyson. Police did say 2 subjects were apprehended before later being released. One person was treated at the scene for non-life-threatening injuries. I'm pretty sure that is Mike Tyson. He probably had some non-life-threatening injuries to his hands, because anytime you get punched by Mike Tyson, it is a life-threatening situation.
Bro, crazy thing is, at that age, man, he's still got those hands. He's got that old man strength now too. You don't want to fuck with Mike Tyson. I don't
He's
give
got
a
that Mike Tyson strength. It's just different.
dude.
The video obtained by TMZ Sports, a man seated behind Tyson who repeatedly had been trying to speak with him, is later seen with blood on his forehead, although it wasn't clear what happened immediately beforehand. But of course, there's more video that has come out that shows that he was unleashing the beast. It was basically ground and pound, right? Because he was just kind of raining them down from the top position.
Yeah.
I mean,
throwing lefts.
Maybe Mike Tyson has a feature in MMA traditional that says, "Welcome aboard, Jet Black and Blue. We'll be serving alcohol and knuckle sandwiches on this flight." Well, a spokesperson for Mike Tyson says, unfortunately, Mr. Tyson had an incident on a flight with an aggressive passenger who began harassing him and threw a water bottle at him while he was in his seat. Now, the asshole that was messing with him claims that he didn't throw the bottle. Do you believe him?
No, because if you watch the video where he's literally all up in Mike Tyson's business, and Mike's just trying to do his fucking life, just trying to chill. I mean, if you watch the video, there was actually some kind of borderline, like kind of racial type comments made by the guy filming it and the dude in the video, right? So I don't know if you watch my video on it, but essentially he's like, can't give these money. And
oh no, he did not come with that.
Yeah. So, and then the white guy in the video says, "Yeah, they're just peasants." So, like,
no, he did not hit him with that Chappelle Show shit. He should have never gave y'all niggas money.
Yeah, that's why I put that. I edited that shit in because it's like, bro.
Now, I'm not a fan of, I'm not a fan of that, but
I mean, but my thing is like,
it's a classic line.
No, it's a classic line, but like, if you're a white dude on a flight with a dude that's like 3 times your size and you're antagonizing him and you say that, right? I'm not saying that's the final straw, but then it's like, and then you have a water ball thrown at you. It's like, all right, bro, fuck you. I'm just gonna show you how real life works, dude.
And
like,
people keep forgetting that he can go 0 to 100 in 1.9 seconds.
Dude, he did interviews for the longest time saying the reason he doesn't work out and box anymore is it brings him to that space, that mental head space. Yeah. So it's like, you're going to bring some dude that obviously has like demons fighting with anger, and you're going to piss him off. And
skills.
Yeah. I mean, you're not just pissing off like some employees, some random airline, right? That you like might not be trained to fight. You're literally fucking with Mike Tyson, who is known to have a little bit of rage, right? This dude bit off Evander Holyfield's ear, right? So you're going to be messing with that dude? To me, like, I was actually hoping Tyson kind of broke that dude's nose, broke his face in, caved it in a bit more. Because, like, that's a life lesson. Like, if you're going to be about that life, be about it. If you're going to start shit, be ready for those repercussions.
Well, I got to say, Jimmy Dean is that dude. Jimmy Dean, me and Jimmy Dean, we're thinking very, very, very similarly. Because, and we're gonna go there right quick. Jimmy Dean says, kid probably did it on purpose to get a settlement. I take a beating for $1 million. Would also look like a bitch for the rest of my life, though. But I don't think anybody gives a fuck. I don't think anybody really gives a fuck when they're spending that $1 million. When they're broke after they spent the $1 million, then that part comes in. But Jimmy Dean, you were right on target with this. Man punched in the head by Mike Tyson hires lawyer for injury.
Oh my god.
Blind Bat made a really good comment. Him getting punched while drunk was probably the best thing for his brain, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I guess. He doesn't feel it.
Because, you know, the inebriation creates that anesthetic effect. Because
See,
notice that, you know, when alcoholics get in a fight, they never really get hurt. And especially in car accidents, they're the only ones that don't die.
So this is the one thing, right? I understand the consequences of Mike Tyson actually doing this, but like this is my dream world. When you annoy somebody that much, you should be able to punch a motherfucker in the face. That's how I feel, right? Like if you're gonna be that fucking annoying, that fucking bothersome, if I turn around, punch you in the fucking mouth because you deserve it, you shouldn't get no money. I understand why people do it. You're probably right. Probably was like, oh, that's fucking Mike Tyson. I can get some money off that. But I hate that part of society. It's like, yo, sometimes we just need to check motherfuckers. Like, oh, you really want to be about this? Like, in my opinion, it'd be beautiful that this dude doesn't get any money from it.
Yeah.
I think like that was the beating that his father should have gave him.
Well, I echo those sentiments, man. When I first heard about this and I looked at the video that we cannot show because fuck TMZ, I just got this really bad feeling that this guy did what he did so that he could get money.
Absolutely.
You know, like if I get to annoy him, and then he lashes out, as people would expect a man like that to do, then maybe I can get some of the money that he earned. You know, I could get some free money that I don't have to earn. Man punched in the head by Mike Tyson hires lawyers for injuries. Melvin Townsend III.
That sounds like a punchable person, personally.
The man Mike Tyson appeared to punch in the head repeatedly in a video filmed aboard a JetBlue flight Thursday has lawyered up. Our client is a big Mike Tyson fan. Matt Morgan from Morgan & Morgan. I mean, he's not doing much to quell the hatred for lawyers.
I've seen those commercials, Morgan. Okay, keep going. Yeah. Sorry.
When Mike Tyson boarded the plane, he became overly excited. At first, their interaction was cordial. At a certain point, Mr. Tyson clearly became agitated by an overly excited fan and began to strike him in an excessive manner. The situation could have been avoided simply by contacting the flight attendant. How about if he sits his bitch ass down?
Yep, absolutely.
How about that?
Take some accountability for your actions, man.
And you see how the lawyer tries to no, you don't get to harass people anywhere, let alone in a metal toothpaste tube 30,000 leagues above the sea. You don't get to do that.
Listen, let's just call it how it is. If Mike Tyson wanted to ether him, like literally, he would have been completely taken out of the census. Mike Tyson showed restraint, because you're not telling me that Mike Tyson could have done far worse shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, come on, let's be real. You see those fucking big old hands and the fucking big dude strong. Bro, he gave him some jabs, and I was hyped, dude. I'm like, come on, keep it, bro. Like, Mike, come on, right hook, please. Like, it's just, if Mike wanted to take this man off the census, he could have. I think that should be punishment enough, personally.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think that, you know, Mr. Tyson could countersue and in my opinion have a pretty decent case. Of course, I'm not a lawyer, but you know, you can't just harass people and then, you know, as Tyson's reps claim, he threw a water bottle on him. You can't do this kind of stuff.
No, bro. Like this is the problem, though, man. And say it again. It's a lot of these fucking weirdos, especially since the big old virus came around. Been at home, you know, social distancing. These people think like behind a keyboard, they're like super tough, and then they go in person and they do this like clown shit they talk about online, and they get punched in the face for it. I'm like, You know, bro, like I don't know, me and you growing up, if we did some stuff like that, we got punched in the face. Like I'd be like, oh yo, I deserve
Well,
that
where I
shit.
come from, they don't stop and punch you.
I mean, yeah, I know, a little different, but
It's a little different.
come shit like shank like a shish kebab or some shit.
Sometimes you get shanked with a projectile.
Exactly,
Moving,
9 millimeter, and we ain't talking about the
subsonic or supersonic.
That's right. We ain't talking about
Yeah,
Will Smith penetration type shit, but
Nope.
yeah, that's just wild. Like, so what do you think's gonna come of this?
So look at this quote from the look at this quote from the Morgan and Morgan and Morgan guy.
To
To state the obvious, as one of the greatest fighters of all time, Mr. Tyson should have exercised greater restraint before using his hands on an overly excited fan. Fuck you.
Wow, have you?
Because he achieved a lot in his life, he does not have the right to self-defense like everyone else has. Because he used to be the champion of the world, people should have free runs at him.
No,
Fuck you.
it's a joke, bro. Absolutely a fucking joke. You go into someone's personal space and you keep bothering them, like, yo, that's the repercussions. And like, as for him being the greatest fighter, I would actually make the argument in court. If this dude's considered one of the greatest fighters of all time, he showed massive restraint by not snapping that dude's neck.
And if you knew that he was the greatest fighter of all time, harassing him would be a very bad idea.
Absolutely.
Jimmy Dean says Tyson should go the Zimmerman route and die as soon as possible. No, I don't agree with that. Tyson appeared bloodied. Now, this is what I want to focus on. I want to focus on this photo right here.
That's
right?
not even
And this is the
bad.
thing. When I saw this right here, this is what led to me believing that this was a setup. Okay? Traditionalist is such an asshole. I didn't know you had it in you.
But it's facts, bro.
I didn't have it in you. Mike Tyson is like the troll of all trolls. He started selling edible gummies, like weed gummies, in the shape of a tattered earlobe, resembling the tattered ear of Holyfield after he bit it. I mean, the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what is that about? So you look at this guy's face, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he does like this weird pouty thing, right?
Yeah.
It really looked like a setup to me. It looked like he was trying to goad Mike Tyson into doing something. Because, I mean, you're talking about a very capable, destructive human being, more than most people. And you got him cornered in the aisle. I mean, look, you're talking about a fucking airplane in the seats, right? And after he got what he earned,
Yep.
he puts on this, sad face, like Elmer Fudd.
Elmer Fudd.
What the fuck?
I just saw that now. Yeah, he does. Yo, he does look like a methed out. Elmer Fudd. I ain't gonna lie, bro. And some of the facial expressions in the video. Yo, that is such a good analogy to use for him.
I mean, why? It just feels like a setup to me, and it really, really irks my nerves.
Well, like, and especially
This is some coward shit on the same level as Will Smith slapping Chris Rock when he knew that Chris Rock could not retort because you're on stage at the Grammy at the Grammys.
I think when it comes down to it is that we got to kind of just look at things from a perspective that, it was edited. The ending was kind of like obviously edited to kind of cut out the in between from what happened when he was getting his face smashed in to like him pounding. It's like, my friend didn't do nothing, man. At the end, I'll just say is that for me, this dude pouting definitely seems like he's trying to get money off this.
And
Lawyering
he knew
up
what he
money
was
thing.
doing when he was doing it.
Absolutely. He absolutely knew it was calculated. So, I don't feel bad for this guy. I kind of hope he loses money in this whole situation by getting lawyer fees and getting nothing out of it. But unfortunately, due to the court systems we have now these days, he'll probably just end up settling out of court because Tyson won't want to deal with this shit.
And
That's
and
most
the
likely what
thing
happened.
is, the thing with that too is that one of the things I really hate about this is that it is clear that Mike Tyson was harassed here, but a lot of these articles and a lot of the commentary always goes back to, well, Titan has a history of blah, blah, blah. Can we keep it to the fucking situation here?
Absolutely.
The guy was being harassed on an airplane. I heard some asshole say, well, I think it was one of the Morgan guys talking about, he should have got a flight attendant. A flight attendant can't see that this guy is drunk, and the flight attendant doesn't know that Mike Tyson is on their flight. They can't tell that this guy is drunk and harassing him. You can't see that obviously right there in front of your face. That's not obvious.
Well, you know how it is.
Everything is on Tyson. But what about the guy harassing him?
Well, it's all, dude. You know how it is, man. These lawyers don't give a fuck about truth, and as we're gonna be talking about it in a second. But
Also, look at this. Again, it's like these girls that claim SA or EPAR, right? They claim that they've been violated, right? But they don't go to the police. They go to try to get some money.
Absolutely.
Right? Townsend reportedly declined to press charges at the time. If you were so injured by this, then you should have pressed criminal charges. This particular story really got on my nerves, man.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of a tragic situation in my opinion because Tyson's just trying to go about his day, but it's nice to see a lot more common sense than idiots out there regarding this situation. So I guess that gives me a little bit of hope. But unfortunately, I think this guy's probably going to try to get something off of Tyson, and Tyson will probably settle out of court just because he doesn't want to deal with the shit.
And it just looks like he's just going to be a walking target where people think, I'm underpaid at my job, or how conservatives want to say people don't want to work. The hardest working Americans of all time is in this generation, but nobody wants to work. But he being one of those guys that don't want to work, or one of these guys that are sorely underpaid, they're going to see Mike Tyson in the street and say, well, if I can provoke him, I'll be able to pay my rent next month. I don't think that's fair to Mike Tyson. And I'm really, really tired of seeing celebrities being targets for no good reason.